Assalamu alaikum everyone. Back again. I am doing a new thing which is I've posted on a second day consecutively, so that's a big deal for me. But I thought today I'll just keep the topic area a little bit more relaxed. Um, Anybody who knows me knows I'm really into films. I love watching movies. Back when a couple of years ago, जब मैं अभी यूनिवर्सिटी से पहले की बात है, when I was still in my A levels, so me and my mom had a deal, which is कि I would do X amount of hours of studying. कि अगर मैं 3 घंटे या 4 घंटे पढ़ाई करूँगा तो then we can watch a movie together. And me and my mom used to watch movies all the time. मतलब मेरे साथ मैंने The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, all the Christopher Nolan movies, you name it, we've watched it together. तो मेरे लिए बड़ी experience होती थी. तो equally I'm glad कि after a bit of a dry spell with movies, I think काम के सिलसिले में मसरूफियात in life always gets in the way. So I never really went back into watching movies regularly until now. So me and my wife made a commitment that we need to really watch some new stuff. But I've always been a big fan of Christopher Nolan, and with the Odyssey, which I'm going to talk about now, spoilers included, by the way, not to disappoint anybody, but अब काफ़ी time हो गया Odyssey को आए हुए, तो I think spoilers बनते हैं. But we went a couple of weeks ago to watch the Odyssey. My biggest disappointment was I couldn't go and watch it in IMAX. तो मैं उस तरह से उसके visual aspect पे शायद ना comment कर सकता हूँ जिस तरह people who've seen it in IMAX can comment. But unfortunately, most of the IMAX bookings were completely fully booked until August. So मुश्किल ही था to find a booking, but either way, we went and saw it a couple of weeks ago. And of course, I think a couple of caveats before we start off. मेरे लिए like watching a Christopher Nolan movie in the cinema is a bit of an event. So I try my best. I don't watch any trailers. I don't read any reviews. I try to avoid anything about the movie until the day of the movie. क्योंकि उस तरह फिर ये होता है कि आप अगर let's say you एक तो trailers बहुत misleading होते हैं, the way they're cut and the way they're structured. बहुत दफ़ा होता है कि trailers accidentally give away either a spoiler or a big plot point or just dilutes the story for you. So मैं trailers को वैसे ही avoid करता हूँ. दूसरा reviews का ये होता है कि not to say the movie is bad or good, but I want to be coming up with my own opinion on whether I like the movie or not. So again, let's say I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes review for the Odyssey and it has like 94-97%, something ridiculous. So that could unintentionally inform me कि मैं मूवी में हूँ और मुझे ना भी अच्छी लगे मैं बैठ के कहूँ लेकिन यार इतने अच्छे इसके रिव्यूज़ थे और आप kind of you start to be a little bit less harsh or less objective in your criticism. So मैं उसको भी avoid करता हूँ. So I went into the movie blind. I'm a huge, as I said, huge fan of Christopher Nolan. His cinematographer Hoyt van Hoytema is incredible in the industry. He was also part of the team that did Tenet. Ludwig Göransson did his musical score. He also did the musical score in Oppenheimer. And there was one track on Oppenheimer called Can You Hear the Music, which is one of my favorites. I listen to it every now and then as well, just to get pumped up for work. So it's an incredible team they've put together. The cast is, as in any Christopher Nolan movie, it's a huge ensemble cast. Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, John Leguizamo out of nowhere, but I'll get to there. Tom Holland, Charlize Theron, Zendaya was in there as well. When you see that cast, you say कि अच्छा इन लोगों के काफ़ी major roles होंगे, but very common in any Nolan movie के शायद उन काफ़ी बड़े एक्टर का नाम वहाँ पे हो who has actually a very minor role but an actor you weren't expecting has quite a major role. So overall मुझे काफ़ी interesting लगा था kind of the setup of the cast that they have. Movie kicks off. First things first, if I'm being honest, the first 15-20 minutes of the movie I thought were not bad, but I wasn't really like hooked into it as tarah. Like obviously the Odyssey, and I have the book right here. I read the book like years and years ago. तब मुझे इतनी खास समझ नहीं आई. This time round I went with a different sort of translated version because the Odyssey is not it's an oral account. तो उस जिस ज़माने में ये लिखी गई थी या बताई गई थी तो it was as a spoken story. और फिर over the histories it was put into a text form, और फिर अब आके लोगों ने उसको like years and years ago तक उन्होंने फिर उसको translate करके into English adapt किया. So इसकी बहुत सारी different authors की बहुत सारी different interpretations होती हैं, how they translate it and stuff, उनमें variations होती हैं. I wanted something that's a little bit more dummy friendly for me, so I went with this one. I'll put it in the description which version I'm reading, but the book itself is very interesting. So the book is also told in a non-linear narrative, exactly the same as any Nolan movie as well. Nolan likes to do lots of non-linear movies, whether it's Tenet, whether it's his earlier work, Insomnia, or Inception, or any of his movies. उसमें बहुत non-linear components होते हैं. The story doesn't go from A to B. It goes from A to E to Z to P to घूम घुमा के eventually वो to the actual timeline आती है. So the first 20 minutes I felt it took me some time to keep hold of the information I was being given, but it was beautifully shot. The cinematography was great. The characters were all acting really well. So I went into it with, as I said, open expectations. When you reach the point where the sequence with the Cyclops takes place, then the movie just gets elevated to a completely different level. I had no idea Nolan had, but he's always said in interviews that he's really fascinated in horror and stuff, but मुझे ये नहीं पता था कि he had that much of a capacity to really scare the shit out of you, and we were horrified. I love horror, but my wife hates horror, but both of us were like completely locked into the movie at that point. At that Cyclops sequence, we were fully invested, fully locked in, completely immersed in what was going on. And from then on out, the movie takes place at a speed that I could not believe they actually managed to pull it off. When you realize that the Cyclops was mostly practical effects, like it was a 40-foot tall giant puppet basically that was the Cyclops, and obviously they enhanced it with visual effects, but still the ships were real. The ocean that they were sailing in was real. It wasn't CGI and stuff. आगे भी आप जब मूवी के थ्रू आप sequentially जाते हैं, so obviously everybody knows the story. It's the story of Odysseus, who after the Battle of Troy has to go home, and his pathway back home is disrupted by the gods interfering and his mistakes and so forth. So it's very much a humanistic story, that how his hubris and how his mistakes and how the horrors he was involved in the Battle of Troy led to his damnation from the gods essentially उस time पे, क्योंकि this was a monotheistic society. Zeus and Poseidon, all these gods are involved in what was happening to him. The sequence at Hades was phenomenal, beautifully shot. I think it was shot somewhere in Scandinavia or something, I forget, but it was wonderfully shot. All practical effects again. Apparently वो जो soldiers रेत के अंदर से निकल के आते हैं, वो actually रेत के नीचे छुपे हुए थे, and they had to stand up. So you have to admire Nolan's real imagination when it comes to practical effects. Fall of Troy में the Trojan horse sequence was very, very interesting. I know people have an issue with the historical accuracy, but this is a fictional book. The Cyclops is not real. Zeus and all these people don't exist. Hades does not exist. ये सारी चीज़ें fictional हैं, so the way you interpret it is entirely up to you. Obviously, Christopher Nolan took a lot of creative liberties. When you read the book, you can see क्या creative liberties ली हैं, but the sequences still made sense. Lastrygonians, the giants that came through, brutal sequence. Samantha Morton, who played Circe in that sequence where she turns Odysseus's men into pigs, was very, very good. I mean, she wasn't on the screen for, I would say, longer than 10 minutes, but on 10 minutes you are so disgusted and grossed out by what you're seeing, and you're so captivated by Samantha Morton's acting. Like, short, I would say a shoe-in for Best Supporting Actress by far. So these sequences all made sense. But they're all like completely, Christopher Nolan का जिस तरह का realism वो अपनी movies में लेके आता है. These were all very fantastical elements in a movie, but they still felt very immersive. There was a sequence where Odysseus and his men are on a ship and they're facing the wrath of Zeus and Poseidon at the same time, and they're trying to sail out of the island of the sun god, and they're completely stuck in the darkness. And if this was any other movie, you could see the sea, आपको समंदर नज़र आता और lightning और ये और वो और camera इस तरह swoop कर रहा होता and all these things. But I think that would not help with the immersion. In this case, it was dark. The only lights were the lanterns on the ships. आपको सिर्फ समंदर तब नज़र आता था जब lightning strike होती थी, और वो भी सारी I think उन्होंने practical lighting के through उन्होंने किया था. So you actually get a sense कि भी this is how it felt when if you're sailing at night उस ज़माने में it would be pitch darkness. If you're in the Trojan horse, it would not be this glamorous scene or anything. It would be all these men just like stuck inside a disgusting horse. And वो आपको ये छोटी छोटी details दिखाते भी हैं, because when they get into Troy and they come out of the horse, उनकी टांगें सोई भी होती हैं, because for days and days and days they're stuck in that horse trying to get into Troy. So I just respect that decision that he makes to adhere to that realism. I respect the decision that he didn't show Zeus or Hades or Poseidon or any of these gods in the story. Because again, I feel कि भाई अगर Zeus आ रहा है and he's throwing thunderbolts and doing all this, it would feel very goofy. So the choice to not show it was the right one. I love the sequence with the sirens. Again, I think a lot of people had a mixed reaction to it. मैं भी जब सिनेमा में था तो काफ़ी लोग ज़्यादा थोड़े हो रहे थे कि अच्छा सायरन का सॉन्ग हमें क्यों नहीं बता रहे. But then that defeats the purpose. The siren song, my interpretation is different to anybody. Odysseus जिस तरह उसको explain करता है कि भाई it tells you what you most want, but what you've lost and what you can't achieve, and it's the कि कहते हैं कि it's the delicious itch that you can't scratch. अब siren के song को how do you put that into a musical form? It's very difficult to do so. But Ludwig Göransson, the track he plays when that siren sequence is going on and it's overlapping and overlaid with Odysseus' screams when he's tied to that mast and he's listening to it. It was a heartbreaking track that he played there. It was beautiful. So मैंने काफ़ी disorganized तरीके में I've kind of nipped through the story. But I think overall, I think the movie, you could say it's a touch long, maybe you could remove 15 minutes from it and stuff, but overall for 2.5 hours at least, I was fully just focused on the screen and just furiously eating my popcorn. I could not take my eyes away from it. It's a beautifully shot movie. I think Hoyt van Hoytema has done an incredible job with the cinematography. All the actors have been really good, but the highlights for me, obviously, I think Matt Damon's really, really good. When I saw that he was being cast for the movie, I thought, I don't know, Greek warrior, does it make sense? Is he gonna do an accent? What's he gonna do? I wasn't fully on board with it because he comes across as like the nice guy or the nice hero in these movies. But when you see his performance and you see how flawed Odysseus is, and like you see his moments of cowardice, you see his moments of weakness, you see when he's cruel, you see when he's not. I love that performance. I really liked what they did with Odysseus' crew as well. क्योंकि a lot of the times आप जब मूवी में होते हैं ना, and आप kind of you put yourself in the situation of Odysseus' men, you kind of would react in the same way they would. कि यार ये हो क्या रहा है, हमें क्यों तुम गलत रास्ते से लेके आए हो? Why did you not bury the soldiers properly? Why did you provoke the Cyclops? Why did you do this? ये सारी चीज़ें जिस तरह वो रिएक्ट करते हैं, हम भी प्रॉब्ली रिएक्ट करते हैं. जिस तरह की ट्रायल्स एंड ट्रिबुलेशंस के थ्रू उनको गुजारा जाता है, प्रॉब्ली हम भी उसी तरह रिएक्ट करते हैं कि यार ये what did we do to deserve this? And I think the way the story lands at the end, it answers a lot of those questions, but it's very well acted. Anne Hathaway, I thought, was very, very good as well. I don't know if she falls into the Best Actress or Best Supporting Actress category at the Oscars, but either way, I think she was really, really good. Robert Pattinson was a total scumbag, which is a mark of how well he acted, but he was such a scumbag. You hate him as one of those suitors, और आप कहते हो क्या like मतलब ये बंदा कौन है, उसको मैं कब चुपेड़ मार सकता हूँ, you know. So I thought he was really, really good. But I really want to give credit to John Leguizamo. because John Leguizamo is an actor that you've seen him in John Wick and these random action movies, and he's had a very long career. He's a good actor, but nobody ever casts him in like very serious roles where he can really show his acting chops. I thought he was wonderful. Like मैं बहुत surprised हुआ था उसकी performance से. Very very good performance. You kind of see his like आप उसकी loyalty देखते हो to Odysseus, and you see how he waits for his master for years and years and years, and he's weak and people bully him and they treat him poorly, and yet he still waits, and he is the probably one of the last few people who remains loyal to the very end, regardless of what happens to him. Tom Holland was fine. I don't think it's his fault. I just whenever I see him, I see Spider-Man, and I think that's a bit annoying. But मैं जब भी उसको movie में देख रहा था, kind of my immersion break a little bit where I'm like यार अच्छा भाई मतलब okay, what's Spider-Man doing here? Beta, let the big actors act and you go out of scene and stuff. So मैं थोड़ा सा irritate हुआ था, but it's not down to him. I think it's just down to me कि I just see him as Spider-Man. But he was fine overall. So I think overall it was a very well acted movie. But I think what I do want to end on is there's been a lot of controversy around this movie. Number one, the Elon Musk thing. Number two, there's been a couple of authors who have, some of them who have translated the Odyssey into a workable English book. And I would say कि एक तो Elon Musk वाली I just find that very stupid क्योंकि it's a fictional story. Why does it matter who is cast into that role? Like Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy, I thought she was fine. Like मुझे कोई issue नहीं था because she was on screen for like 2 minutes. It wasn't, her role was tiny. There was apparently a huge issue with Travis Scott. I had no idea Travis Scott was in the movie until the movie starts and the bard is there telling the story. And I'm like, oh, is that Travis Scott? But he was in the movie for 30 seconds, 2 minutes. मतलब कोई मेजर रोल्स इनके नहीं थे जिसमें मैं कहूँ कि ओ दे कॉम्प्रोमाइज द इंटेग्रिटी ऑफ द टेल. दे रियली डोंट. एंड people forget like Greece is not this country of white Europeans. Like Greece, what is it next to? It's next to Turkey. Greece has as much of a history with that region there than it has with Greater Europe. So I don't know कौन सी दुनिया में Elon Musk रहता है, but I think in this era of culture wars and creating a controversy out of nothing, it is just part of that. So I didn't really pay much attention to it. I thought I'll just raise it. दूसरा ये कि a lot of authors have criticized the book for misinterpreting it, and I get where they're coming from क्योंकि their whole life and their whole careers have been to translate the Odyssey, translate Greek literature, so they're very knowledgeable about the material. I'm not, but I also believe that in movies when you're adapting certain books or source materials, you have to take like creative liberties. Odyssey में बहुत components ऐसे हैं जो I understand why creative liberties were taken, because this is an almost 3-hour R-rated movie जिसमें you have to pitch it to adults and you have to make it interesting, you have to make it digestible. So creative liberties have to be taken, and I think what my opinion is that I went to my bookstore to get a copy of the Odyssey, right? And the Odyssey is nearly sold out. The books are nearly sold out. So is that not a good enough indication that whatever work has been done on this film is good, because people are compelled to read the source material? So जो authors criticize कर रहे हैं उन्हीं authors की किताबों की sales in the millions चली गई हैं because people are curious about the source material. They want to understand it more. They want to explore that world more. So yes, I agree with academia that they know the material more, but there's a big gap between academia and art and filmmaking. And if artists don't take creative liberties, then there's kind of no point. अगर आप एक authentic Odyssey बनाना चाहते हैं, तो that's not going to be a 3-hour movie. That's going to be a 3-hour per episode mini series for 20 episodes जिसमें आप उसमें detail में जाएं. Everything has to be historically accurate, from the costumes to the armor to the way they speak to what they do, blah blah blah. Like how is that something that audiences will be able to easily consume and take an interest into it? So I get the argument, but I disagree completely, and I don't think that's fair criticism. finally, I think this is also a credit to Christopher Nolan because he is the, I would say, obviously in the great directors, आप एक pantheon of directors बनाए, Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola. These guys are obviously, Steven Spielberg. These guys are the greats, right? Nobody's taking their place. But in the new generation, I would say, of filmmakers, there's two I always look out for. There's Denis Villeneuve, who is now releasing Dune 3, and I think he's slated to do James Bond, and Christopher Nolan. And I think in this generation, the fact that they make such an effort to not make their movies CGI slop. I like Marvel movies. I like they're very watchable and they're fun and you enjoy it and stuff. But those movies don't stay with me. The Odyssey, I watched it 4 weeks ago, and it still stays with me. I still listen to the soundtrack. I go into the book and think about, oh अच्छा इस chapter में ये हुआ, movie में ऐसे हुआ था, ये वो वगैरह. I'm still reading articles about it. I'm still reading the interpretation about it. This is a win for cinema overall, that an R-rated 3-hour Greek epic is now on track to become the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. It used to be Passion of the Christ, then it was Deadpool, I think, Deadpool 2 or 3 or whatever, which is a very throwaway movie. I don't know, like theek thi, sahi thi, but I don't know. And it's about to overtake that. Oppenheimer as well almost hit $1 billion too. That was an R-rated 3-hour movie. Just a third of the movie was shot in black and white. So the appetite in audiences is there. I respect directors who don't treat their audiences like idiots, who don't spoon feed to them. You treat your audiences like they're adults, like they're smart enough to understand. You put your faith in them, and they will reward that faith back by coming back to watch your movies again. And I think that's exactly what happens with Christopher Nolan. All of his movies, like बहुत सारी movies हैं where they're hit and miss as well. Tenet, for example, I saw it 3 times until I could understand कि हो क्या रहा है इस movie में. A lot of people didn't want to Tenet. That's fine. Interstellar had its gaps as well, but those are still daring, risky movies to make. And he has leveraged his reputation to convince big studios to put big money and large, big ensemble casts into these big, gigantic, operatic movies. And he's constantly innovating and constantly challenging himself to try something different. This whole movie was shot in IMAX, which is a whole different challenge itself. It used minimal CGI compared to what you see with Marvel, where everything is shot in front of a green screen. So those are things you should respect as somebody who likes to go to movies, who likes the cinema experience. Obviously it costs, unfortunately, an arm and a leg. आपको गुर्दा बेचना पड़ता है सिनेमा जाने के लिए. इतनी महंगी टिकटें होती हैं and popcorn and stuff. I know it's expensive. I know Netflix is more convenient. Amazon Prime is more convenient. But अगर आप एक genuine cinematic experience enjoy करना चाहते हैं, these are the sort of movies you should go to the cinema for. You should rush to the cinema for के this is what you want to experience there. And I'm glad to hear, like, even Pakistan में मेरे बहुत सारे दोस्त बता रहे हैं, like Odyssey के shows fully booked थे, like everybody wanted to go and watch it. And I love that idea because it's a movie made by an adult for adults. So overall, I loved watching it. It was a wonderful experience. I hope to do more of these movie reviews as well. I really want to sit down and talk about House of the Dragon because that's something we've just finished season 3. So I want to do a bit of a spoiler review there too. But overall, I really enjoyed the Odyssey. I would probably give it close to like a 9 out of 10. There were a couple of gaps here and there. Some instances where the music was way too loud or the audio was way too loud. I don't know. I think Christopher Nolan को कोई hearing issue है या क्या है. लेकिन कई बार उसकी movies में it gets so intensely loud कि आप भी kind of चौंक जाते हो. But those are nitpicks. Those are very tiny nitpicks, and otherwise I would say flawless movie. And I think the appreciation it's getting, this movie will probably age really, really well. आप अगले 10-12 साल के बाद you pick up this movie, you'll probably enjoy it then too. Contrastingly, एक movie थी, Wolfgang Peterson की movie थी, 2004 की या 2003 की, it's called Troy. So ये जो Homer के epics हैं, the Odyssey is considered like part 2 of the story. इससे पहले एक book आती है, it's called the Iliad. And the Iliad is basically about a section. It doesn't cover all of the Battle of Troy. It's about a section of the Battle of Troy. जिसमें मल्टीपल कैरेक्टर्स इसी तरह का ensemble of characters होते हैं. So वो Iliad पे based थी वो movie called Troy, which had Brad Pitt in it. I think it had Orlando Bloom and a bunch of good actors. And that movie was fun. Like, it was a fun movie. It had action and उस तरह का, but it was a campy movie. It wasn't like a movie like this where you actually take the source material seriously. आप इन दोनों movies को मैं strongly suggest करता हूँ you watch it contrastingly. Watch both of them together, and you'll get a very good idea of exactly क्या उन दोनों में difference है. Because one movie is more, hey, this is an action blockbuster, it's campy, it's got funny moments as well, it's kind of a action romp that you don't take super seriously. This is a movie you take seriously and enjoy as well. So I appreciate that they've put effort into the source material. But yeah, that was my rambling review. 9.5 out of 10 I think would be a fair score. And yeah, overall had a really good experience in the cinema. There were moments in which I think मैंने अपनी कुर्सी को ऐसे करके grip किया हुआ था when some of the scary sequences came up, but overall had a really fun time, and I hope that other movies come about as well that I can go and experience and kind of have the same experience of watching like I did with the Odyssey. But yeah, this was quite a random review. Hope to do more of these, but talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.